Hey, welcome to the Junius Maltby channel. You're live. Glad you could make it. Good evening to all the channel members, Patreon members, and those just stopping by. Tonight, we're going to take a trip through history, take a look at some Roman hoards, some gold and silver. I love treasure. I love treasure stories. I love when people find them. I wish I would find them. Hasn't happened yet. The greatest treasure I've found so far has been Mrs. Maltby. But it would be nice to find, a pile of gold coins or silver one of these days. I don't know how the universe or God chooses who stumbles upon such amazing things. Two people to thank for the inspiration for tonight's discussion videos and what kind of set it off. I was out doing errands today, and I received a text from my dad who sent me a tweet. I'll show you the tweet from a gentleman discussing these things, and it took me down kind of a rabbit hole. And then there's a YouTube channel that did a really good video. I'm not trying to rain on his parade or nothing. His name is Told in Stone. He's got a huge channel, so he doesn't need my help at all. But Told in Stone, he's got like 198,000 subs. Does a lot of Roman stuff, archaeology stuff like this, and did one on Roman treasures, like the biggest Roman treasures ever found. And it wasn't, a long video. I'll probably end up exceeding that in time, and his is a little more in depth, though. He's got a lot of good slides. Good video, though. Told in Stone. Check it out if you haven't seen it. And he listed some of the largest treasures in Roman history that have been found. The largest hoards, if you want to call them that. And I've got some of them pulled up here. We're going to go through them and just take a look at them. I've looked at some treasures in the past like this, but I've never gone into extreme detail, how many coins were found, when they were found. Because if you think about it, it's interesting, the Roman Empire is 2,000 years ago, essentially. And ever since then, even like the 1600s, 1700s, 1800s, people have been finding Roman coins. I've got some. You've seen coins in what's called the Junius hoard. It's quite small. It's quite minute. There's a handful of nice Roman silver. I don't have any Roman gold. I don't know what I would do if I stumbled upon what you see in this image here. I would love some Roman gold. I mean, to me, there would almost be magic in it. I don't even know what I would do had I come across or if I was holding Roman gold. I just can't imagine. I've got some fakes. I mean, they're obvious. They're not gold. They're just kind of plated because Roman gold's difficult to come by. I mean, there's obviously a lot in this picture. There's some on eBay, graded, authentic, 100%. And some of it probably came from some of these hoards. It's just quite spendy. You're paying a little bit of a premium on that stuff, premiums. But there's lessons to this. When you look at this and when I talk about it and when I handle my gold and silver, it helps remind me of the purchasing power, the store of labor that these metals are. It's a good reminder. That's why I think even if you just had one, it's a nice conversation piece. But if you have a drachma, a denarius, a piece of silver from the ancient world that's authentic, not only discussing the purchasing power as I've done in the past, if you go into the archives of this channel, we've looked at these coins quite a bit in detail. The strength that they had at the time, their purchasing power, as I just mentioned earlier, the goods and services they were able to acquire, how much labor was stored in them, who received them, where they were minted, the imagery on them, what the images meant. There's a ton of incredible, interesting history to these things. I mean, just last night, I learned about a coin that I do not have, that I had never seen before, or I don't recall seeing it. And it was as I was journeying around looking at ancient Roman settlements on Google Earth, as I do sometimes when I'm bored. And I came across a Roman settlement, and we'll get to the story here in a minute, called Aspendos, Turkey, where the most complete Roman amphitheater exists. And it's unbelievable. Aspendos, Turkey. I need to go there. I want to go there. And behind it is a little city that exists in the hillsides. And there's a coin, because it's the earliest mint in that region. There were coins minted there by the Greeks in 500 BC. And there's a silver drachma that comes from that region of two wrestlers that's quite impressive. And I ended up finding some of those. I don't have any, but I was looking at them, just looking. And there were some on eBay. Of course, they were out of my league. Yes, out of my league. But just impressive to see the coins, the ruins they're found around. And they're scattered throughout the empire. You know, all anywhere from Morocco to Egypt, as far north as Germania and France and Spain, all throughout Italy and Greece and Turkey. Anywhere the Romans were, they probably dropped coins and stored coins. So there's quite a few of them. Hey, Trevor Ham, thanks for the super chat, my friend. I just saw that at the corner of my eye. Thanks for the support. I appreciate it, buddy. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Now let's get to it. So what started this off for me today was I came upon, after my dad sent it to me, of course, this tweet here. And I'll just read it to you guys. I mean, for those of you that like to listen to this on books on tape or audio, I know there's a lot of you that do that. So I have to kind of make sure that I'm catering to both the visual and the audio audience. This is a tweet from a guy named Gareth Harney at Optimo Principi. Now, I don't have Twitter. I don't have anything like that, but you can still see this stuff, even if you're not, a member of whatever, of the Twitter sphere. It's not a real place, Twitter, by the way. It's not a real world. Nothing there matters. Now, Gareth Harney at Optimo Principi, he tweeted this thing, the breschello hoard, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, breschello hoard of 80,000 Roman Republican gold aurei was uncovered in 1714 near Modena. It was melted down and used to mint ducats. Incredible. And he also follows it up with, it was likely a war chest intended to pay the armies of Antony, Octavian, and Lepidus. If documented and studied fully, the hoard would have revolutionized our knowledge of late Roman coinage. Unfortunately, they melted them down. People didn't value antiquities, it seems like they do today anyways. 1714, they melted them down for their economy to circulate them. And this brings up a really interesting point, a very, very, very critical and crucial point. For those of you who hold gold coins struck in Europe in this time period or even later, 1700, 1800, restriking and remelting gold coins down repeatedly was common. I mean, fast forward to the United States paying debts to European merchants and such during the early part of our country's history, about 1830s. A lot of the gold coins that the United States paid debts with, or even merchants here paying merchants there. If you were in a trade relationship with somebody in Europe and you had a business here, a lot of the gold that went over there overseas ended up becoming European coinage. So the U.S. coins that were sent over there would end up getting restruck so they could circulate over there differently with different images upon the coins. And I've raised this point quite often, even with, if you're holding ducats, if you're holding any coins from this time period, kronas, British sovereigns, you name it, any of those little gold coins from the 1700s, 1800s, many times those coins, it's very likely, were restruck from historical metal that empire or that nation came across, stole, you name it. I mean, come up with a way that a nation can acquire gold back then, and they probably did it. So a lot of the coins, if you're holding, for example, real quick, if any of you guys have a ducat in your hand or a gold sovereign from the early period, and you're holding it, there's a strong possibility that metal came from other places. Now, yeah, sometimes it came from new mines somewhere in the empire, but a lot of times it might have been restruck little coins that they found out of a hoard. Really interesting stuff, especially this. I mean, the ducats. Can you imagine? So that's what I've said. This stuff circulates forever, per aeternum. Gold doesn't go away. It extinguishes debt. It's almost like shape-shifting. The gold just kind of it exists forever. The same particles, the same atoms, and you can be holding ancient gold. I mean, it's money, literally money since the beginning of time, since the dawn of all ages. And it just goes throughout history. And you can extinguish debt with it, you can save with it, you can store your labor in it. It's phenomenal. It's incredible, it's impressive, it's remarkable. It's a testament to what these metals are, the power they hold. It's mind-blowing, staggering. And there's people that just don't get it. This is one of those like minute little details that we obsess over as stackers that people don't get. I mean, you don't understand. You don't realize, like, if you're holding silver, if you have silver that came out of a hoard someplace, and I have never come across a story of, but I'm sure it's happened, where some of these early European nations, and I mean, I'm almost confident that this would have happened with, especially the early silver thalers and such that circulated, that they would come across maybe silverware that you'll see in some of the hoards we're going to talk about in a minute, and there's a strong possibility some of that metal was melted down, purified, and then struck into coin, circulated, and people collect it. Maybe they have them today. Who knows? You might have a German thaler in your collection that was at some point ancient silver. The whole point of that is the stuff, matter can't be created or destroyed, right? It just exists. And this stuff's from the periodic table. But, these gold and silver coins, they've been money since the beginning of time. And they're still today. They have that store of labor, and they'll have it in the future. When we're long gone, someone's going to find your stuff. There's a very strong possibility there's going to be a Physics Hypernova hoard, a Nurse Manning hoard, a Lisa Willis hoard, a Bill Spencer hoard, a Junius Maltby hoard. I mean, this is what you have to look forward to. You guys are going to, ashes to ashes, dust to dust. One day we're gone, and someone else will have this stuff. But these coins will outlive us, right? They're going to be here forever. It's incredible. It's neat to think about. Can't say that about paper, right? Now, the first one here is the breschello hoard. That's the one he tweeted about. Let's talk about it real quick. We'll take a quick look here. I'm going to try to go through these because there's so many of them that I want to talk about. I'm going to have to get the screen adjusted here so you guys can see what I'm reading. There you go. And then we'll move forward here. So this is the breschello hoard. This is the largest and most valuable hoard of Roman coins ever found. Breschello is an ancient municipium of Brixellum. It's a small town in northern Italy near Modena. So it'd be near where my mother's family would have been from. So that's incredible. Some of my family might have handled these or lost them. Originally, it was a Gaelic settlement. I am drinking tea, by the way. Now, Gaelic tribes were French in, what you would consider to be the French today, the Gallic tribes, right? The Gallic Wars was a good book by Julius Caesar. If you haven't read it, read it. Now, it was a settlement on the banks of the Po River that was Romanized after the area was annexed by the Roman Republic. The city was transformed into a Roman colony in the period following the assassination of Caesar, and it quickly became an important transport and communication hub. Yes, ma'am. Oh, I won't do it again. I won't sip. I'll do it over here. I got to drink my tea. I know, you don't like the sipping of the tea. The slurping.
My leg hurts and my hip, and I still felt like I had to jump up and come tell you
to not slurp. I know, I try not to. It's so hot, though, this tea. Now, it was in this city that in the year 1714, so think of how long ago that was. That was a long time ago, 1714, to stumble, and these things were already old. They were already, probably 1,500 or more years old. A millennium and a half or more, 16, 17. I mean, these were ancient coins already. Now, in 1714, one of the most remarkable numismatic discoveries ever recorded took place. A peasant, while plowing a field, you wonder how much the peasant got for this, right? You know how that turned out for him, right? The peasant. Somebody was probably like, yeah, that's not yours. We're just going to take that from you. Keep plowing, though. You got your wheat to plant, peasant. So this peasant's plowing a field. He accidentally finds a vessel containing 80,000 Republican aurei. He should have not told. I wonder what happened to this poor guy. 1714. That's approximately 650 kilograms of pure gold. You guys computing that? You using your heads on that one? Do the math for me. Somebody do the math today, right now. Hit the numbers. Put them in the chat. 650 kilograms of pure gold. Imagine finding 650 kilograms of gold, ladies and gentlemen. The treasure was composed entirely of only 32 varieties of types coined between the years 46 and 38 BC. So it is quite safe to assume it was buried in 38 or 37 BC. The latest coin identified was an aureus, minted by Octavian, that mentions Agrippa as consul designate for the year 37. The hoard was most likely the treasure chest of a warlord. Of the period of civil wars, its nominal value was 2 million denarii. To put that figure on an understandable scale, it must be considered that the annual pay of a legionary in that period amounted to 250 denarii. Of course, the current value of the treasure would be much higher, a fairly conservative estimate of about $1,000 on average for each coin gives a total value of about $80 million. 80 million. That's conservative. Conservative, I would say. Undoubtedly, it's the most valuable hoard of Roman coins ever recorded, and by a wide margin. The sheer size of the hoard is a good indicator of the enormous quantities of gold that were coined after Caesar's victory in the civil war against Pompey. The new Caesarian arii were minted by the millions, and an important portion of this output was accumulated by a small elite. Well, what does that sound like to you? A small elite. Mainly in the entourage of the great political leaders of the period. So they freshly minted some currency, some money, some real money at least, and those that were closest to the seat of power acquired it. There's a little lesson there we can learn from. Does that sound familiar? Unfortunately, very few of the coins discovered at Breschello survived. At the beginning of the 18th century, there was not a sufficiently developed numismatic market as to absorb such a number of ancient coins. Therefore, after dispersing a relatively small part, the rest was melted to mint ducats. Well, at least some of them survived. That's a good thing. That makes me happy. I would hope that some of those coins did survive. I'd be upset if none of them did. Here's another picture of a bunch of Roman treasure. I don't need that one, though. Now, the next one I want to read about real quick, the Frome hoard. This one's not nearly as impressive because it's got some bronze in it. I mean, who wants that? And no one's got time for that bronze. I mean, come on now. I've got some bronze coins. They're not impressive. Nothing. They rot. They fall apart. They turn green and then they go away. Not that doesn't happen to gold. There was some silver in it, though. The Frome hoard, it was a hoard of 52,503 coins. It was found in April 2010 by metal detectorist Dave Crisp near Frome in Somerset, England. The coins were contained in a ceramic pot, dated from about AD 253 to 305. Most of the coins are made of debased silver or bronze. Good lesson on Roman history. We've covered this. Go back into the channel, please. Check the archives on the videos I've done where we discuss Roman coinage, and I even show them to you. I've got some real ones in the videos. But this is a good little lesson. We just talked about some coins that were buried in about 37 or 38 BC. Is that right? Now, these coins here were buried much later. What, 300 almost, 300 years later, approximately. AD 253 to 305. But they're debased silver and bronze. It's the late part of the empire. They're going broke. They're in England. They're not, the last hoard we just discussed was the Boscoreale hoard, much closer to the seat of power, much earlier in the empire. They're much richer. They're still expanding. Rome's still kind of at its peak, you could almost say. These coins, 253 to 305, where are they found? They're found in England. So Rome's already expanding too far beyond its capabilities. They're spending money on bread and circuses, the welfare warfare state, and in such, they are devaluing their money. They're adding bronze to silver, or they're plating bronze coins with silver, dipping them to make them look like they're silver. Forgotten creation. Hey, man, appreciate it. Thank you for the super chat. So kind, so generous. He says, for the Maltby hoard. Thank you, my friend. I will use it for Mrs. Maltby for her surgery upcoming. I appreciate that very much. but I will. Thank you. So they're debasing coins. 300 years later, they're debasing it. And, the smart Romans probably saw what was going on. If there was any Junius in the Roman Empire, he probably said a few things to his friends. Now, the hoard is one of the largest ever found in Britain. It's important because it contains the largest group ever found of coins issued during the reign of Carausius, who ruled Britain independently from 286 to 293 and was the first Roman emperor to strike coins in Britain. 52,000 coins, silver and bronze, found in a clay pot that was buried. The hoard was discovered on April 11th, 2010, while Crisp was metal detecting in a field. Man, if you guys live in England, please go out and metal detect. Please, go out, do it. Get a metal detector and run around out there. I know there's some British friends on this channel. If you guys are there on mainland Britain, there's no Roman coins where I am. If I found Roman coins in my yard, it would reset essentially the entire understanding of human history. You guys in Europe have no excuse. You should be if I lived in Europe, I'd be wandering around with a metal detector everywhere I went, essentially, digging holes and trying to find these coins. Please go out and find a hoard of your own. I know there's some of you in the chat right now that are over there. Do it. Do it for me. Do it for Junius. The late Roman coins, eventually totaling 62, are probably the remnants of a scattered hoard, 111 of which had been found at the same farm in 1867. So this was a pretty active little spot, this place. While searching for more coins from the scattered hoard, he received what he called a funny signal. And on digging down about 35 centimeters, so 14 inches, he found a small radiate coin in the top of a small pot. Oh my gosh, I would be freaking out already. I'd be losing it. I'd be in full tachycardia. Hey, Chip Fernandez, my friend, thank you for the super chats. Maybe for future video, thoughts on using physical silver as collateral to get investment capital in order to avoid taxes and reducing one's stack. Good point, good question. Definitely a good topic. I have talked about taxes. I try to stray away from that stuff though because it puts a target on you. When you start talking about taxes and stuff, you gotta be careful. I don't know a lot about it. I'm not an accountant, and my opinion on taxes is pretty radical, pretty darn extreme. Pretty sure they already don't like me, but I appreciate it. That's a good point. I would like to understand that a little bit more. Physical silver as collateral. I wouldn't like to collateralize that. Real quick, I wouldn't collateralize my metals for anything. You can do your other stuff on the side, but just hide it. Don't tell them you have it. Do like these Romans are. Look at this. Look what we're talking about here. These people hid their wealth from a lot of things. I mean, a lot of times people hid their wealth from the Roman Empire so they didn't have to pay taxes with it. Beautiful, beautiful, brilliant. Or because of instability in the empire, war, roaming, I'm going to use a different word, hordes, Hordes, hordes of bad guys. Let me take another sip of this tea. I'll do it far from the mic so Mrs. Maltby doesn't flip out. Speaking of England, I'm drinking a nice English breakfast tea. Yes, it's decaffeinated, so don't be upset and don't judge me for it. It's late in the evening and I don't have time for caffeine. I don't need the stimulus, if you know what I mean. Thank you very much then. All right, back to the article. Now, realizing that this must be an intact coin hoard, okay, we stopped. The guy found the top of a small pot. Now, I'd be freaking out, but so he realizes that this must be an intact coin hoard. He stopped digging and he filled in the hole that he had made. I can't believe this guy's patience and self-control. Incredible. That's a British man for you. I'd be losing my SHIT. In 22 years of detecting, Crisp had never made such a significant find. Wait a second. So, can you imagine going to sleep on this? On April 15th, he notified Katie Hines, the Portable Antiquities Scheme. He notified the liaison officer at Wiltshire that he had found a hoard of coins. On the 22nd of April, Hines, together with Anna Booth, the liaison officer, and Alan Graham, an independent archaeologist contracted by Somerset County, they visited the site to carry out an emergency excavation. Led by Graham and assisted by Hines, Booth, and Crisp, the members of the landowner's family was performed over 3 days from the 23rd to the 25th of April. Incredible. So they found this clay pot, and there it is there. Let me bring that up for you guys so you can see it. There it is. Can you see that? So that's the pot full of coins. Remarkable. They've got some on display down below, and looks like it might have been broken, or it broke just over time, I'm sure, from age. But they did what archaeologists do and put the little puzzle pieces back together and rebuilt the pot, and it looks like they put a lot of coins back in it. Incredible. So here's a silver denarius they found in there. Beautiful. Beautiful silver denarius. And here's a reverse of a Carassius silver denarius from the Hoard. It shows two clasped hands, symbolizing the unity of the ruler and the army, alongside the abbreviation RSR. This alludes to a line from Virgil's Eclogues, Ridiunt Saturnia Regna, or the golden ages have returned. Beautiful. So they found a lot of different types of coins, all from about 253 to 305. Beautiful. Gives you all the coins in there. It tells you the dates and the number of them. Looks like the most common coins found were Tetricus the First, Gallic Empire. They also found some Galenius, Sol Reign, about 6,000 of those, from 260 to 268. The other ones were 270 to 274. The Tetricus ones, and there's about 12,000 of those. Wow. Wow, incredible hoard. There's lots and lots of metal there. Now the next hoard. Hey, thanks, Russ Jordan. I appreciate it, my friend. It says, Fauci tried to kill me, but I'm still alive. He tried to kill all of us. But thanks, Russ Jordan. It's amazing. Thanks for the super chat. The Reka-Devnia hoard, Marcianopolis, Bulgaria. Bulgaria. This hoard was discovered in 1929. Okay. And consisted of more than 81,000 silver coins, weighing a total of approximately 350 kilograms. That's 770 pounds, ladies and gentlemen. The Reka-Devnia hoard, 770 pounds of silver, covering the period from the 1st to the 3rd centuries. So again, some early period coins here, explaining that's why they're in silver. Remember, the later you get in the Roman Empire, the shittier the coins get, because they were going broke, so they devalued and debased it, just like our government's doing today. Nothing's changed. In 2,000 years, one thing's common. Governments debase and devalue their currency, they destroy it, and it turns into zero. But when it's gold and silver, it's a store of wealth, a store of labor, a liquidity anchor. It's sound money, it's real money. Everything else is garbage, trash, monopoly notes, paper. All right? Leper currency. You get it. The oldest coins were the issues of Mark Antony, and the most recent was of Herennius, the son of Trajan Decius, 249-251 AD. The coins had probably been hidden in the cellar of a building during the invasion of the Goths. In many cases, this impressive collection of silver coins serves as a reference to establish the rarity of coins. However, this is not always the case. Actually, in most hoards, the later coins are represented the least, and so the number of coins found from the last empirical reigns are not necessarily representative of their relative rarity. In the Reka-Devnia hoard, for example, there were only 280 coins of Gordian III. I've actually got one of those, 238 to 244 AD, and 3 coins of Trajan Decius, 249 to 251 AD. Though the coins of both of these emperors are actually quite common, the same phenomenon was observed in the hoard of Franceschi Romania, buried around 235 AD, in which from 1,365 denarii, only 7 were otherwise common types from Septimius Severus from 193 to 211 AD. Pause for a second. Notice something here. I'm going to take a sip of this tea and then I'll get back to it. An incredible thing's always popped up in my mind when I read about these things. when I talk about these hoards and these vessels that are found and stashed, think about it. Throughout history, humans have experienced turbulent times, uncertainty, instability. There's a common thing that they've all done. They take their metal, their sound money, because it doesn't rot, doesn't decompose, and what do they do with it? They hoard it. They hide it away. They put it someplace, maybe to come back to it. And a lot of times these people either didn't come back to it because they died. That's most likely it, right? They died. They got killed by Goths or Visigoths or Vandals, raiding parties, invading armies, maybe the empire itself, maybe old age or an accident, a chariot accident. Maybe they got run over by a chariot. Either way, people died. And these treasures were forgotten because obviously if someone knew they were there, they would have gone back for it. But again, people buried treasure and hid treasure because of uncertain and turbulent times, sometimes even economic turbulence or who knows what. Yes, Mrs. Maltby, what's happening?
I'm looking for the little moo.
Oh, the little kitty?
In the office, but...
Yeah, welcome to Aunt Cat's Pillow Dollars. Chip Fernandez, how you doing, man? Thanks you for joining up. A newest member. Try the emojis. They're fun. Check them out while you're here. Now okay, so again, I just think it's interesting. Are we at a point in history today, right now, in the year 2022, where it's time to start hoarding gold and silver and hiding it away and putting it away? Who knows? I don't know. I'm not in the future yet. How many of us are going to live to be able to uncover our hoards? I don't know that either. Interesting though. All right. Now let's keep going here. What else do I got? This is the Reka-Devnia hoard. This is more of a map to it. It shows you where it was at over here in Bulgaria. Found in 1929. Beautiful. Now the next one, the Hoxney hoard, largest hoard of late Roman silver coins, right? Now this hoard here, the Hoxney, is the largest hoard of late Roman silver and gold discovered in Britain, and the largest collection of gold and silver coins of the 4th and 5th centuries found anywhere within the Roman Empire. It was found by Eric Laws, a metal detectorist, in the village of Hoxney in Suffolk, England, in 1992. Now again, my British friends, those of you living in this region that we're discussing, this is the second hoard we've just discussed on your little island out there. So get to it and get yourself a MineLab metal detector. MineLab 3000, MineLab 5000, whatever. Get a MineLab. Some of those are really good. Some of the best ones will actually tell you if you're pinging off of gold or silver. So if you want a new hobby and you're retired, or you're just looking for gold and silver, I need you to go out and look for silver and gold in your land. And then, since Junius inspired you to go do it, maybe pick one of the worst ones out and just kick it my way. You know what? And I'll do a video on it. All right? That'd be fun. Wouldn't that be a fun video? Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Junius Maltby channel. Right now, you're looking at a gold aureus from the ancient Rome. Was found by one of you, a subscriber. And I'd say who it was if you wanted me to. Maybe not. You don't want the British to arrest you. Because again, they want you to report this stuff if you live in England. Me, I can tell you what I would do. I wouldn't. That's just me. That's me, though. I can't tell you what to do. But I wouldn't be reporting any hoards or treasures that I found to the government. That's just not going to happen. It's not in my nature. Not in my nature to inform the state that I found some little round discs of precious metal in the dirt. Now, the hoard consists of 14,865 Roman gold, silver, and bronze coins. Maybe I'd just turn in the bronze ones. And approximately 200 items of silver tableware and gold jewelry. The objects are now, of course, in the British Museum in London, where the most important pieces and a selection of the rest are on permanent display. In 1993, the Treasure Valuation Committee valued the hoard £1.75 million, or about 3.64 million in 2020. So it's going up because what? Because what? Because metal's going up in value too. Yeah, gold and silver worth more every day, typically. Over the long term, for certain. I mean, you go from what? When did they find this stuff again? 1992. It's 2020. Yeah, of course, it's over doubled in value. It's going to happen. Because what? The pound sterling's being destroyed. The dollar's being destroyed. So these metals, their value for the last 2,000 years has only gone up. That's all they do. That's what gold and silver does. It just goes up in value because we all know that the pound, the euro, and the dollar will always deteriorate. This is my last sip of tea, ladies and gentlemen, so you won't be interrupted by that anymore. Now, the hoard was buried in an oak box or a small chest filled with items in the precious metal, sorted mostly by type, with some of the smaller wooden boxes and others were in bags or wrapped in fabric. Remnants of the chest and fittings, such as hinges and locks, were uncovered in the excavation. The coins, so these people, they probably plan on coming back for it. The coins of the hoard date it after AD 407, so really late. This is a late find. I mean, very late in the Roman Empire. I mean, it was disintegrating at this point, which coincides with the end of Britain as a Roman province. The owners and reasons for burial of the hoard are unknown, but it was carefully packed and the contents appear consistent with what a single, very wealthy family might have owned. So this was probably a wealthy family. Rome is abandoning this province, or Britain is no longer going to be governed by Rome. It's probably going into a period of uncertainty. This is preceding the medieval times, the Middle Ages, the Dark Ages. I mean, bad things were looming. They probably didn't want to travel with this much wealth. They would have been killed immediately, and they buried it. Uncertain, dark times. The owners and reasons for the burial will, of course, always be unknown. The hoard contains several rare and important objects, such as a gold body chain, silver gilt pepper pots, emperor's pepper pot. Really incredible stuff. Here's an image of it, though. Let's take a look. There you go. You guys see that right? Let me get that to where you can check it out. Check that out. That's the hoxney hoard right there. Some of it. Look at the detail in the tableware. These beautiful spoon-like objects, beautiful silver coins, some gold coins down over here, chains, just incredible jewelry, bracelets. Just remarkable, unbelievable, impressive, absolutely incredible. Hey, base tradesman, thanks for the super chat. He goes, how do we know the English government didn't steal the original coins from the museum and replace them with fakes? Wouldn't put it past them. Oh, I wouldn't either. Not even remotely. Wouldn't put it past them. Gorgeous, though. Gorgeous. Let's go back. Any more good pictures on there? Any more? Oh, what's this? So here's Hoxney. Here's the map. So this is where it is. If any of you live in this region, look at that. Might be some metal around, right? Get your metal detectors out. And here, what is this? This was found in there. Well, that's pretty cool. Check this out. This is a silver Hoxney tigress, the broken off handle of an unknown object. It's the best known single piece out of 15,000 in the hoard. That's incredible. That's a really, really well detailed. Look at the detail in this thing. You guys see this? Look at this. Look at this. I'm going to zoom in on it. Look at the detail in this silver tiger. Look at that. Look at the craftsmanship of this silver. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Really remarkable. Remarkable. See, Mrs. Maltby, they even had cat ladies back in ancient Rome. That's her little tiger kitty. Here's an obverse, one of the coins, and a reverse. Beautiful. The items discovered, here they are enlisted, 569 gold coins, 14,272 silver coins, and 24 bronze, 29 items of jewelry in gold, 98 silver spoons and ladles, a silver tigress, we saw that, 4 silver bowls, silver beaker, vase, pepper pots, toiletry items such as toothpicks, silver locks, the remains of the wooden and leather caskets, traces of various organic materials, including small ivory pyxis. So there's even ivory, it looks like, was put into the box. Oh, wow. So the coins in the hoard, this is interesting, this is really interesting, came from various parts of the Roman Empire. If I can get this to, let's bring this map up. So here's a nice little image of the splattering of locations that the coins originated from in the Roman Empire. So essentially, throughout all of Europe, anywhere Rome was in Europe, coins were represented in the hoard. Unbelievable. Some of the coins actually were clipped, as you can see here. It's actually displaying that, silver was removed from the coins. And there's some beautiful gold jewelry. Look at this. Look at this necklace, though. Check this out. Look how beautiful that is. Are you kidding me? Look at, again, the craftsmanship. The craftsmanship of ancient Rome. It's unbelievable. Some jewel stones are still present in this piece of gold. Just gorgeous. Wow. Incredible. And then, of course, where are we at here? Gold bracelets, spoons, little statues and figures. This is, again, some images of the Hoxney hoard. Moving on, we've got the Trier treasure hoard. Now, the city of Trier was in Germany, and it was under the name of Augusta Trevorum, and was the most significant imperial seat in the western provinces of the late Roman Empire. It was there where the treasure hoard was discovered. Considering its total weight, it's still regarded as the largest among the known treasure finds containing silver banquet sets, and can be dated to the 4th to 5th century. So very late, very late. Seems like a lot of these were buried in turbulent times because it was the late Roman Empire when it's falling apart, chaos. In 1628, during digging and construction for a Jesuit monastery, they found a stone chest with a stone lid. It concealed a hoard of late Roman silver vessels. Now, at that time, old treasures, which turned up on the territory of the city, were legally due to the archbishop. So it's the archbishops now. And the Prince Elector of Trier, if I'm pronouncing that properly. Therefore, with the exception of 2 plates, the silver vessels were confiscated. In exchange for 4,093 imperial thalers. And they were hacked and melted down. However, the Jesuits made an inventory of the discovered silver objects before the appropriation, relying on the laconic descriptions of the luckily existing list. The composition of the treasure find, as well as the shape, size, and decoration of the individual objects, can be more or less reconstructed. The inventory mentions 49 silver objects, with a total weight exceeding 114 kilograms. Now, pause for a second. These were confiscated, and then it looks like, or sounds like, melted down, destroyed. So again, and this is silver. Germanic region. Could they have used it to strike silver? Could there be silver thalers that you have? I've got a 1600s. It's a 1601 silver thaler. So it's earlier than this. But again, hey, Trevor Ham, thanks for the treasure, my friend. Thanks for the super chat. He says, please accept some of my hoard. Trevorum. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate it. So 114 kilograms of silver confiscated by Jesuits. The large size of the platters, recall the silver platers Platters and Suso treasure, which implies that compiling and placing the objects of the two treasure finds underground could be close, considering the time. Underground could be close, considering the time. So there's some notes here written by the Jesuits as to what they found. And then it looks like that's where they found it. Looks like they drew some pictures of things. What is this? A silver ewer with representations of apostles found near the find spot of treasure in 1992. So this might be, perhaps they made this out of some of the treasure. Who knows? They might have used it to fashion other objects out of things. Hoard of 2,516 gold coins with a weight of 18.5 kilograms. So this Trier gold here, the Trier gold hoard, the Trier gold hoard was 2,516 gold coins with a weight of 18.5 kilograms. So again, 18.5 kilograms of gold here. This was in 1993. So any of you guys living around Trier, get out there. It looks like they're still finding stuff because this is later. 1993 during construction. This is actually the picture that I pulled up for all of you. This was the opening photo for the video. So if you want to look at it, I'll pull it up real quick. This is, oh, come on, you. That's not what I wanted. I wanted the actual photo of it. There we go. There we go. This is the Trier hoard. It was found in 1993. I opened the video with this one. Look at all that gold. Just look at it, will you? Look at the condition of some of these coins. Can you? I'm going to zoom in on them because it's actually worth it. You got to look at the details. I mean, the hair, you can see it right here on this one. The wreath on this guy's head. I mean, just incredible details. Remarkable, impeccable condition gold coins. That's a lot of gold. That's a lot of wealth buried. Wow. So this is the Trier hoard that was of gold. Again, found in 1993 during construction project. Let's get to some of the details of it more so. Go a little bit more depth on it. Largest preserved Roman gold hoard worldwide. The hoard is on exhibition at the Rheinisches Landsmuseum Trier. They found it again September 9, 1993. An excavator unearthed and ripped apart a bronze cauldron during excavations for an underground parking garage. Part of the cauldron and some coins. What? Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm going to read this part again. Part of the cauldron and some of the coins went to a dump site initially unnoticed. After the first coins were detected at the excavation site, treasure hunters also began to search the earth at the dump site. An amateur archaeologist, Eric Eichner, went back to the excavation site at night and found the larger part of the bronze cauldron containing 560 coins and an additional lump of 1,500 coins using his metal detector. Using his metal detector, ladies and gentlemen. He informed the authorities of his discovery and received about 20,000 Deutschmarks or whatever as a fraction of the estimated worth. I hope to God some of these people keep these things, like keep some of the, like if I found, 2,000 or 3,000 coins and it was under penalty of death, maybe would I tell somebody about it. But I would definitely keep a large portion of that wealth for myself or these coins. I mean, come on, the universe, God bestowed them to you. They're yours. Keep them. Keep them. The hoard was hidden for the first time about 167 AD, probably because of the Antonine Plague. Oh, they had their own version of COVID. The Antonine Plague. The Antonine Plague. Do we have that now? Can we panic about that? Should I be scared? Is there a new variant? The Antonine variant. The Romans, they buried their gold because of a plague. The last time it was probably buried while Augusta Trevorum was beleaguered by Claudius Albinus, since the latest coins were struck in 196 AD under Septimius Severus. Earliest coins in the Hoard are from 63 AD. The reign of Nero. 99% of the coins were minted before 167 AD. Only 6 coins were struck between 193 and 196 AD. The coins between 5.8 and 7.6 grams. 40 Roman emperors and their relatives are depicted on the coins. The total number of coins originally in the bronze cauldron estimated at about 2,650. Jeez, man. Wow. Incredible hoard of gold, my friends. Now this is cool. This is just silver. A lot of silver in this one. This is the Boscoreale. The Boscoreale treasure. Take a look at this. Take a gander. Stare at some of this. Look at the detail. Beautifully made, incredibly detailed, and well crafted. You're not going to see this even today. Nobody. I doubt that people even alive today are capable of executing the skills of the Romans. I mean, even when it comes to building a victory arch, nobody today could even design or build a victory arch like some of the ones you can see, even in North Africa, some of the African provinces. I saw some victory arches last night as I was perusing some of the ruins of ancient Rome online, because I can't go to Africa. But gorgeous, amazing stuff. Same with the silver, the details in the silver here. Remarkable. You're not going to, just look at it, will you? Look at the detail in this stuff. I'll open it up for you. Look at this thing. Look at this. Look at this. I'll pull it up right here. Look at that. Look at that, will you? Look at that. It's incredible. It's like a bas-relief of beautiful sculpture, man. So this treasure here, the Boscoreale treasure, is a large collection of exquisite silver and gold Roman objects discovered in the ruins of the ancient Villa della Pisanella at Boscoreale near Pompeii, southern Italy. Oh, so we know what happened here. We know what happened here, ladies and gentlemen. What happened to Pompeii? You guys want to take a guess? Vesuvius ring a bell? Not something I can say that I have experience with because I climbed it. I have stood atop Mount Vesuvius, or Vesuvio. As a matter of fact, there's a video, I think, on this channel of me standing on top of Vesuvius. It's one of my earliest videos ever on the channel. But I'm walking around up there on the top of the very volcano that buried this stuff. I've got a rock from the top of Vesuvius. I've been to Pompeii. And here you can see this unbelievable hoard of silver that was discovered. And you look this up, you look at the Boscoreale treasure, and there is an incredible amount of silver found. Located northwest of Pompeii, Boscoreale was the location of a large Roman villa, Villa della Pisanella, and it was buried by volcanic ash. Following the eruption of Mount Vesuvius in 79 AD, the villa was unearthed during several archaeological seasons, confirming the hypothesis of a villa rustica covering 1,000 square meters and clearly defined residential sector and farm buildings. There is so much yet to be discovered. You know, they've only done, if I'm not mistaken, they've only uncovered like 25% of Pompeii and Herculaneum. There's still an incredible amount to be excavated. So think of how much treasure is still remaining and still sealed beneath the feet, multiple feet. I mean, tons of feet, like 20 feet or so of ash and pumice. There's a lot of gold and silver still buried down there. The villa was discovered in 1876. It was only on April 13th of 1895 that the remains of a vaulted box containing the treasure were discovered in the wine pressing room of the villa. So they put this stuff in the wine pressing room of the villa. The box contained silver tableware consisting of 102 items and a leather bag full of coins to the value of 1,000 gold aurei. Many items of precious metal were abandoned in Pompeii and its surrounding area by their owners as they attempted to flee the destruction. Most of the Boscoreale treasure was illicitly trafficked out of Italy and was later purchased by Baron Edmund de Rothschild. You son of a... You guys read that? You read that? A Rothschild bought it, even though it was illegally trafficked. Hey, Russ Jordan, thanks for the super chat, my friend. He goes, hoard your wealth. Never give any to the government. They need to be defunded now. Yes, defund the government. Every branch, everybody, everything. Defunded. I love that. That's a beautiful thing. Make a sticker. Defund the government. Let's make shirts. Mrs. Maltby, put them on the channel. That'd be great. Defund the government. I like that. That's a movement I could join. Okay, we're gonna. There's some crazy stuff about to hit this story. Listen to this. So let's go back real quick. Here's the Boscoreale treasure, right? Gorgeous stuff. Look at it all. Look at this, right? Gold. Look at this gold bracelet. You guys see this? Let me see this. I'll pull this up for you. I'll pull it up for you. We're going to talk about this treasure because there's some sons of bitches in it. Look at this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful gold bracelet. You guys taking a look at that? Take a look at it. Take a close look at that. Let me get it zoomed in for you a little bit better. All right, there you go. There's that. There's a gold bracelet there. Some snake heads biting. It looks like a coin, but it's like an image struck. You've got an incredible amount of highly ornate, incredibly detailed silver, gold goblets and plates. Incredible, right? It's just it's beautiful stuff. Some of those, I've never seen anything like this. But then you go to the story. Let's go to the story again. Now, you guys might get a little upset because I'm going to read some names. This name, you want to talk about a name that pisses me off. It's Rothschild. I don't care what he says. I don't like him. I don't like him at all. It's amazing on the left, the Marxists, you know, the little, you know what I'm talking about. They never tend to mention them. They kind of steer clear of that, right? They let them go. They get a slide. They get a pass, right? So this treasure was illegally trafficked out of Italy and purchased by Baron Edmund Rothschild, who donated it to the Louvre Museum in 1896. Baron de Rothschild, right, was a French member of the Rothschild banking family. Given the number of the items, you know he kept a lot of it for himself. You know he did. Their weight, over 30 kilograms, their technical quality and aesthetic value, the silver set from the Boscoreale is among the most important and most prestigious sets of this period. It is assumed the objects were initially hidden in the storehouse before the eruption of Mount Vesuvius. The last owner of the silver was probably a woman named Maxima, a name written on many of the vessels. A woman was found nearby, but there is no definitive answer to the question of whether she is Maxima. It is assumed that the owner of the villa and the entire property is L. Caecilius Lusundus, a banker from Pompeii. So a banker, of course. A banker stored the metal, and then a banker bought it all 1,800 years later, who inherited the wealth of the Julio-Claudian dynasty in Campania, and that he was the father of Maxima. So it was her dad. It was a banker, stored the metal, and just incredible. Lots of amazing pieces there. And that's the Boscoreale treasure. Incredible stuff. Beautiful. Some of the most ornate treasure I've ever seen in my life. My goodness. You know, I'll give this to the Rothschild guy. Thanks for at least donating it to a museum. Some of it. We know you kept some, you Rothschild. But that's it, ladies and gentlemen. That's all for tonight. That is the discussion I wanted to have. That was it. That's the Junius Maltby channel tonight. That is Roman hoards of gold and silver. If you don't get excited about this stuff, there's something wrong with you. There truly is. This is wealth over time, dynastic wealth preservation. The people that own it are dead. It's that the wealth is still there. Nothing is more of a testament to the power of silver and gold than fast forwarding 2,000 years and seeing it still have power, still have wealth, still being a store of labor. It's incredible, right? It's amazing. So thank you. Thank you all for tuning in. I'm going to let you all go.
I just wanted to say real quick.
Yeah.
The honking will not stop until freedom improves.
Yes, the honking will not stop until freedom improves. Big shout out to all of our friends in Canada that are honking horns. Honk, 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 honk away.
Honking.
And all the truckers up there, keep it up. Keep doing what you're doing. Fight until Trudeau steps down or is hung from a yard arm. Oh, hi, kitty. Hi, how are you?
It's the Ant-Cat.
She's on my shoulder.
Hi, Ant-Cat. Oh, she's literally on your shoulder.
Well, thank you all, my friends, channel members, Patreons. Thanks for the super chats, the shout outs, the support. Thank you for hitting the like. Hit the thumbs up. You like the content? Hit the thumbs up. Leave a real comment below. hit the share. Share this stuff. Send it around. Thank you all for tuning in, and you're all the best. I appreciate it. And don't forget, if you're in Europe, you live on what was once Roman ground. Get yourself a metal detector and go find a hoard. That is an order. Go forth and find treasure. Yes? Alrighty then. Thanks for tuning in to the Junius Maltby channel. I'm Junius Maltby and I'm signing out. Good day.